that was specialized on cultural involvement of different brands. And I have worked for this agency for quite a while, and basically I developed this concept with Thorsten and Christopher, and I said, okay, great, I'm going to leave my agency job, I'm done with this. And we did the academy from then.
Okay. How do you come every year with a different town? How do you choose this town?
Basically it's a decision that it's based on two things. On the one hand side, we need to find a city that has a broad variety of different scenes, so the participants and lecturers that come in get to play in different clubs and also find an audience that appreciate what they're about. Secondly, we strongly depend on a big creative scene that will help us to put the place together. So curators and artists and so on. So it needs to be a vibrant place. There's a lot of vibe that we take from the surrounding, from the host city that we have. And then it also depends on what type of infrastructure the Red Bull people have in this country. When we come to a new country, we have like a first trip that is like a bit of a I don't know, fact-finding.
Yeah, to check it out.
So we come here, and on the first trip we meet about 100 people. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm from France, for example. Red Bull does not exist in France, which is kind of stupid because it's forbidden. First, what you think about this, and how do you see the fact that France could be maybe one day, I don't know, Paris or Marseille, chosen as a city?
Well, let me point this out again. We strongly depend on the infrastructure that Red Bull has locally, because they introduced us to all the artists, all the curators, all these people. And if they have like a good network of people around them, then we can work with them. You know, strong link there, it will make it difficult for us. We would really like to do this in Paris, but we are also really dependent on the fact of having people there that can help us to put it together.
So it's related to the business too, like, you know.
It's related to the business, but not in respect to how much they are selling there or if they're selling the product. It's more based on, do they have a cultural marketing department? Do they have people that are sort of competent to run events? And so on. So it's really more about that than it is about whether the product is in the shelves or not.
Okay.
I don't know what to say about like France and Red Bull, because
it will come.
It will. You probably know that better than me. But there's no reason for us not to take French participants. You know, and in a similar way, we think about this in a similar way when it comes to the realization of the project.
Do they let you a total freedom?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds a bit like I understand where the question comes from, but if you look at the program, you will see we've never invited anyone who seems to be somehow mass relevant or something. We've never made a compromise with this project, and it wouldn't have happened this way as well, because Red Bull as a brand works differently. They want this thing to have edges. They don't want to produce something that is somehow lukewarm. And that's why, and that's what has been fantastic with working with them, was that they ask you how to do things, and they help you to realize it. It's not a discussion who will be invited or not.
Which is quite rare as a big company like this. It's a very good thing, I think. That's really my orientation in my question. It's for, you know, when I talk about these events in France, people are like, oh wait, yeah, like a company like this do this kind of event. It's really the future.
That's true. I think that it's just it's really. I mean, what Red Bull has understood is if you really want to do something in this environment, you have to do it right. And if not, you should not be doing it. And I think a lot of people don't get that. And the mere fact that they have been running this for 9 years, I don't know one project that is for young people that has been going for that long and hasn't changed orientation every year.
For sure.
Techno now, hip hop then, speed now, you know.
It's kind of.
So it's cool that they sort of understand that a brand has to step up and take on responsibility for the environment they're dealing with. And I honestly think that this is the future. I don't think states can or governments can do this, because it's also not their task to do it. So brands or companies in general that want to get involved in this cultural involvement, I think, like, we hope that this is a good example for them to sort of get their head around it and just do it right as well.
I think it's a very, very good example. During those years, what are some of the nicest memories that you have? I mean, like 2 or 3, like, or 1 or 2, like, you know.
Well, it's really hard to minimize that, I must say. I think one of them, still today, one of the most astonishing moments was the Brazilian Time concert that we did in São Paulo. It was a concert based on a documentary film by Brian Cross and DJ Shadow.
I know, I saw it.
And we basically got